Hi, this is Joe Shahada from Top Tier Capital. Well, this week was a pretty interesting week for the Forex markets. There was a lot of volatility among the different currencies. So let's just get right into it here. This first chart is the euro versus the US dollar. And you can clearly see that we broke that uptrend and we are now heading lower. And we talked about this in our Forex analysis, in the past. And so we kind of saw this one coming a little. So what happened here was we were in this uptrend, and then we kind of broke out, and we failed to get back into that uptrend. We found resistance at the previous support area, and we failed, and now we've headed lower. And we've been talking about this horizontal line as well. This was a previous double top that turned into kind of a triple top and proved to be pretty congested area. And we're kind of running into that level now. If we can break below that level, it's going to be lower prices, lower prices, lower prices. If we can find support there, then I would guess that this little downward push is over. But pretty big downward move here, and we'll have to see what happens moving forward on that one. But look for that level to be support in the coming days. But I expect lower prices either way in the euro moving forward. So and then next chart is the US Dollar JPY. I actually went short this one because everybody and their mother is bearish on the Japanese yen, and I couldn't take it anymore. I have to counter trend trade this one. So why did I do that? We have the this massive upward trend channel we've been in forever now. It seems like we're kind of trying to break out of it. We're kind of there, but not really so much yet. But for me, there's a couple other things going on that I like. We have this sideways action here that proves to kind of be slowing down this rally. If we can break out below this sideways trend, then there is almost no floor because there was no ceiling on the way up. There's almost no floor. We could go way down with this one. I'm not expecting too much of a decline in the intermediate term, but I think overall it could correct pretty hard. But another thing I did on this one was my RSI strategy. I made a whole video about that. I think I'll put a link over here for you. That strategy I go into much more detail in the actual video, but basically what it looks for is extremely overbought conditions. And when those conditions occur, that's when I like to get on and go the other way. I like to go short when that occurs. So we kind of had that here. We had a breakdown of the RSI. We broke below the RSI here, and then we went back up into the RSI over here. This first break back in wasn't noteworthy because the price didn't really move. If you look, the breakdown was here, right around this area, and then when we broke back up, it was right over here. So no real percent change there. But this next time, it was pretty significant. It was right up here on this green bar. So that's when I like to take my short. So, but I kind of waited till we broke out here a little bit further, and that's when I took it. So I took it this week. I don't remember what day, and we'll see what happens there. I'm expecting lower prices, obviously because I'm short in the US dollar JPY. But we got to get confirmation from this sideways trend, and we got to definitively break out of this upward trend. So that's the US dollar JPY. The next one is the AUD, the Australian dollar. We are currently clearly in this downtrend channel. We've been in that for a little while now, and I would expect this blue line to be support. This was support twice in the past, and it was even kind of a resistance choppy area over here. So it seemed like it may be a pretty decent area to look for support. Now, if we break that support, obviously we'll keep going down, but I think we could find some congestion there. But as long as we're in this downward trend channel, I assume lower prices in the AUD moving forward. So now the next one is the British pound versus the US dollar. Now I actually went short this one. I went long this one on Friday as well. This one got into extremely oversold territory. And so I had to counter trend trade it. We were in this downward trend channel here, very strong, steep downward trend channel, mind you, and we broke below support of that channel. Now that's a major overextension. That in and of itself is usually a great buying opportunity. But we also had the RSI get massively oversold. My same strategy before. When we dip below the RSI, when we dip below 30 twice in a short period of time, and the price moves along with it, that's a great buying opportunity. So I took on that one. There's a little bit of risk here in the announcement from Moody's. It came out that they're downgrading UK debt. Now, this doesn't really bother me too much, though, because one thing you have to do is keep a clear head when you get this kind of announcement, because One, if you find yourself looking at this fabulous downtrend and saying, oh my God, it's going to go on forever, they just downgraded their debt, the British pound is screwed, and you have this knee-jerk reaction and you sell everything, that's probably one of the worst things you can do. If you can keep a clear head and realize that they're probably going to resolve something from a fundamental standpoint, or you just look at the technicals and you say, you know what, there's no way that this thing can go any lower without getting some kind of decent pop. And that's what I like to trade on. I like to just trade what I see, not all this noise from the news and things like that. But I just want to point out here, this is when the announcement was made. It's pretty much at the end of the day. There was like a half hour left in trading. This is a 5-minute chart here, and you can see that nasty downtrend. So I think we'll probably open lower on Sunday on the British pound and probably move a little bit lower in the near term. But I think overall, because it's so oversold, we have so many stops we could just run through on the way up. Same thing with the JPY. Well, there's so many stops on that, I mean, this thing could just fly. So anyway, that's our Forex analysis for today. We have a lot more analysis throughout the week at toptiercapital.com, so please do check that out. And thank you for watching, and happy trading.